Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video, and today we're going to be continuing the sudden death tournament. And okay, apparently what's not going to be continuing is my internet connection. It's actually been pretty unstable over the last couple of weeks, so hopefully it doesn't screw us over in this video, but we should be fine now. We are going to be continuing the sudden death global tournament with 3.0 Xbow Cycle. As you can see, I'm using the deck, and I'm currently at 20 wins and undefeated 0 losses. So I have recorded all of my battles up to this point. We'll be continuing. Found the first match against the Goblin, and hopefully we can get some nice games today. So he gives us the good luck back and goes for Archer, so this makes me think it could be Graveyard or Xbow. Okay, Mega Minion probably going to be Graveyard, so I'm going to go for Tesla. Yeah, we did already play against this Graveyard version. He also has the Skeleton King and Tombstone in here, I'm pretty sure. But since he cycled a cannon cart in the back, I think I can go with this Xbow, and then I can just defend the cart on my side with probably Archers. Looks like this Xbow won't really be breaking through. I can actually just log the cannon cart. Don't really have to overspend with archers. And I guess we'll just split archers in the back. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. I'm not sure whose matchup it is, actually. It's not going to be super easy, considering he does have the cart and the tombstone to counter and stall at the Xbow respectively. Also does have the poison in there, so it's not like he doesn't have a big spell. But I guess let's try. I tried this out in the last time I played against this deck, where I try out defensive Xbows to kind of bait out the poison, maybe even outcycle the poison. Looks like he does get poison value on my archers plus Xbow. I think I don't need to. Okay, I'm gonna log just in case. But yeah, I think defensive Xbows are a pretty good strategy. Gonna go for one again, and even though my right side tower is lower HP, by the way, these placements that I've been using are the anti-poison placement. Even though my tower is lower HP, I still want to go in the left lane and want my opponent to be going in the right lane, ideally. I don't want to be going the same lane, so that's why I went for it, even though my right side tower was still a little bit lower on HP. Gonna stack archers and pre-cycle them so that it does kind of prevent him from going for a graveyard. He goes for one anyways, but as you can see, he's forced to poison, which is a pretty expensive commitment. Then I can just log afterwards, and I'm gonna go archers just in case, yeah, because my defensive Xbow was getting taken out. And let's once again just defensive Xbow, because he is probably back to cart at this point. Plus he just uses poison. I think he's at least 2 cards away, so I'm basically just spell cycling him out with my fireballs right now. Gonna go for a log and then cycle back to my archers. Unfortunately missed a couple skeletons there, so we do take some damage. Gonna go knight to kite this Skelly King and Ice Spirit just in case those skeletons got a little bit close. Now I think we can Xbow, and let's try and defend this because he's going to go cart. Yep, so let's go knight as well. He goes for a snowball, so now I think we can actually cycle back to another Xbow on the left as well, since he's probably going to overcommit on the right side. Yeah, there's the Skelly King, so we're going to go archers at the bridge. I think he might go for a cart here. He goes for a low cart instead. Okay, so I guess I'll just go for a Tesla, but I'm still going to try and protect this Xbow. Let's log the cannon cart in its other stage as well, and then go Skellies just for these extra skeletons. And he does go for Tombstone, so sadly Xbow's not going to break through, but wow, forced out pretty bad archers, and once again we're in a really good situation. Even though we're losing in terms of HP, he just used his poison, and my defensive Xbow will thrive. Looks like he wants to continue poisoning my archers, so defensive Xbows will do a great job. And now I'm going to go for another Xbow with the support of this defensive Xbow. This should definitely be a pretty good push. Let's also just fireball the Skelly King, and then I think once again, we're gonna try and outcycle his counters, and I'm gonna log this as well. Okay, looks like he does take out our Xbow, but I'm gonna go for an offensive Xbow. Xbow's still barely alive on the right and also got some damage. Gonna go Tesla 2 and Knight for the cannon cart. Nice, we just barely got it down in time. I think I might actually fireball once the cart goes into the second stage. And he goes for archers. Okay, if I pre-log those, that would have been huge, but we do still get a small lock. Let's go again in the right. I think we have to keep up pressure now. Instead of going defensive, it is probably a little bit too slow. Let's protect this Xbow, and I guess let's go knight as well. I think the Skelly King won't be splashing our Xbow. Yeah, and once again, we're going to outcycle his poison and go in with another Xbow on the left, so he's probably going to be back to a cart here. Wow, he actually just barely misses it. Also, we did just get a small connection in the right, but we're going to defend this Xbow with everything we have. So going to fireball on the Mega Minion plus cart. Looks like we just barely missed the cannon cart in its second stage, but that's going to be a really nice connection. That's going to be game winning, actually. So My opponent spamming the chicken emote looks like he's not very happy, so I guess I'll just give him the thanks just because, I don't know, he wants to BM and the little turn emote. But yeah, that's going to be a really nice win. I think this matchup is probably going to be pretty close to even since he doesn't have arrows in the deck. Does have a poison as well, but still going to be a really nice win to put me at 21 wins. I believe I actually already played against that deck earlier as well in the last video. There it is. So I think I've gotten the strategy down pretty well. Really nice win, and let's keep the tournament moving. Alright, so we are looking for the next match. We find it right away against what looks to be an Arabic player. Let's give him the good luck and go for an Ice Spirit at the bridge as he goes for Skarmy. So it could actually be a lot of things. Just going to go Tesla in the middle because I'm not sure what he has. Always going to be a pretty safe play. Goes Knight Graveyard. Okay, so I think he's also going to have Freeze and Arrows in this deck. Yeah, they're the arrows, so let's log. After they take out your archers, you pretty much always going to want to log, and he goes for Freeze. Actually doesn't do anything. Gonna Xbow and then Skeletons to predict an Inferno Tower, because I do know this deck. Yeah, there is the Inferno Tower, so I recognize the deck. There is actually a really good player who always gets really high on ladder with this deck. I believe he's Arabic as well, so maybe it's the same player. Let's log the Bomber back, and we do actually get a small Xbow connection, which is really nice. Gonna go Ice Spirit, just in case he plays anything else, and we're gonna be up by like 1,000 damage just like that. So gonna go for another Xbow, Skeletons again to predict. He goes for a Graveyard, so just gonna Archers, and this is really good because if he wants to arrows my archers, you won't have enough. Gonna go for a Knight, and oh my god, look at that Ice Spirit. Ever since the buff, I know I talk about it so much, but ever since Ice Spirit's buff, its freeze has been so amazing. Like, I didn't even have enough elixir for that Knight. It took me so long to get it down, and the Bomber still retargeted, so that was just amazing. Gonna Expo again, and okay, wow, I have to say, well played. He did predict my Expo again. I guess it was a bit predictable. I was kind of spamming Expos, but now we're just gonna reset. You know, that's fine. It's only a -1 trade if I don't overcommit to that. Just gonna Fireball this to make sure the Graveyard tank gets taken out as soon as possible, so that the tower will help. Gonna go for a log just in case he goes for a freeze as well, and that's gonna be really nice. So actually, he does have an Inferno down. I could possibly defensive Expo right here. I think I am going to. It's probably gonna be a really good play because he only has arrows and freeze, no big spells. So he actually won't really have anything against us. Gonna go Archers, and then Tesla's just barely alive as well, so it's helping out. And a bunch of Skeletons are actually clumping up, so I'm going to go for a log just to be safe. Now I have a healthy defensive X with surviving, so I can definitely go in with the support of my defensive X. But he does go for a Bomber, kind of predicting my Expo. That's a lot of Fireball value though, and I'm also going to try and protect as much as I can against this Inferno Tower. Archers are going to take it out with the help of the defense Expo, and Expo's on tower, really nice. And he goes for pretty late arrows, but once again I can just defensive Expo. This is definitely a very favorable situation for me. Goes for Bomber at the bridge. I guess I might as well just Tesla and then log. And Knight does a pretty decent job against the Graveyard, honestly. If you support it with other stuff, you don't always need Archers to defend a Graveyard. That's a big difference between Knight and Ice Golem in the Xbow Cycle deck as well, actually. That's another pretty good instance of Fireball value, so I will take it. Gonna log the Bomber too. They should definitely lock on. Defensive Expo takes out the Bomber with the help of the log. He does get a Knight down, but I guess I'll just Tesla, and it's really not that bad because he actually does still have to respond to this. Like, even a little bit of HP will connect to the tower if he doesn't respond. So another 6 elixir in the Skarmy and Mega Minion forced out, and then he's going in, but he can't freeze both the archers and the defensive Expo. That's what I'm really doing by separating. Notice I'm not really going for archers. Well, that's actually quite a lot of Graveyard damage, but we should definitely break through on this Expo. Yeah, I'm kind of playing my Archers all the way in the left, and then my Expo is kind of in the middle, so it's another kind of instance of avoiding giving them spell value. That's just going to lock on a tower. That's going to be GG, so really nice win against Graveyard Freeze. I'd say that's definitely a pretty easy matchup. We still played it really well. Defense Expos are definitely really useful there, and I think they can be good against pretty much any Graveyard Freeze deck. That's going to put me at 22 wins and 0 losses. So yeah, actually looks like he is going to be a pretty good player. I had a feeling because I recognize the deck, maybe his mini account. But anyways, really nice win there. Alright guys, so I'm back. You won't be able to tell since I used some nice video editing, but there are actually only 4 hours left in the tournament. When I was recording yesterday, there were like 17, so I did take a break after getting 22 wins for quite a while, and I think I'm definitely kind of more refreshed and ready to continue playing now. I always kind of like to take these small breaks I'm just going to go for a log, and looks like he spent quite a lot on the left side, so we actually didn't have enough for rocket in time. This is going to be Logbait, Goblin Barrel, Cycle with rocket. This is going to be a terrible, terrible matchup. I really don't see a great way for us to win, but I guess we're going to try. So let's go Xbow Knight, because I think we did outcycle his rocket. Goes for a Mighty Miner. I guess might as well just fireball it. Definitely a good thing about this matchup is that he does have the Dark Goblin and not the Princess, so Princess is definitely way more oppressive against Xbow than a Dark Goblin. And we did get a nice early connection, so it should be pretty good. We're going to go in again. He does actually predict us with the cannon, but we're still going to go archers just to kind of catch him off guard. Possibly, yeah, Fire Spirit was forced out. That's obviously not a great situation for me, but I was trying to maybe salvage what I possibly could by maybe going for archers when he would expect me to just let the Xbow die. But goes Dark Goblin at the bridge. I guess I'll just go Knight, not take any damage from that, and let's just keep up the pressure. Gonna go Tesla as well in case he goes cannon, but he should definitely should rocket there. And actually missed the Tesla, so it looks like he wasn't really expecting us to go for a Tesla, because he did go for the Fire Spirit to activate the Tesla, which is a good play, but then Tesla didn't actually get hit by the rocket. We do have that Tesla still alive, though, so might as well keep up pressure again with an Xbow. Gonna Fireball to maybe predict the Mighty Miner. Looks like he does go for a rocket again, but we are actually getting a really nice damage lead, and we have really good momentum on our side. So now he goes for a Mighty Miner like that. I think we're just going to go for a Tesla in the middle, because that'll be just like a counter that'll just, he won't have any way of getting around it. If I went archers, he could go for the ability and it would kill them, but the Tesla just takes care of the Mighty Miner no matter what lane it's in. Goes for a barrel, so it looks like he's actually trying to get away with not using a rocket on this push, so I'm actually just going to try and defend it as much as I can. It's going to go Tesla. Let's actually log the Mighty Miner to reset its charge up, and then let's Fireball to predict the cannon. We actually do get it off, nice, and archers to predict the Dark Goblin, and that's going to be a really nice connection once more. Going to go Skellies just to cycle back to my log, just barely got it down in time. And now we should definitely win this match. I'm not sure how at all. I'm definitely not planning to go in, so that was a pretty aggressive prediction by him. I think I'll just Fireball the barrel since he did outcycle my log. But again, without the Princess in here, yeah, he doesn't have any ways of kind of like pressuring me outside of the barrels. He should probably just try and rocket cycle, which he is trying to now, but it's definitely too late because I have a huge lead. Gonna go Tesla set up so that it can help against the cannon, plus I can cycle back to another Xbow, and I'm definitely gonna go for that now. He has two Xbows to kind of worry about. Does go for a log on the middle one as well. Definitely gonna have to rocket this one as he does, but I can just Fireball, hold my archers for his Dark Goblin, and then there's absolutely no way he's going to get past a like 1800 damage lead at this point. It's way too late. So yeah, I might as well just defend, and I can pretty much just Fireball cycle now. I guess I could also try an Xbow if he goes for another rocket, but okay, he goes for a barrel plus rocket, so that's actually going to take out my archers. So actually he does get a little bit of damage, but this is going to be a really nice Xbow connection. Yeah, he goes for a really aggressive Dark Goblin. That's probably going to be the end for him, because that was just too aggressive. Even goes for a barrel when he has the Xbow alive, and I don't know why he's BMing and saying good luck when he literally lost with at least like a 70-30, or actually maybe it's not 70-30, but it's really bad for Xbow still. Just that he doesn't have the Princess, instead he has a Dark Goblin, so that does help us out. But still, he should rocket every Xbow, and he should be able to rocket cycle us, so really nice win against, I would say, a pretty difficult matchup there. Alright guys, so I'm currently at 23 wins and 2 losses, got hard countered twice in a row. Drill cycle with fireball and log is really hard because they can just fireball log pretty much every single Xbow, and also drill is guaranteed damage on the tower. And then I went against Skeleton King Cannon Cart Graveyard again, but he had Inferno Dragon, which is really hard for Xbow, and arrows, so just in every way possible, a worse matchup for Xbow specifically compared to the other versions we went up against. So kind of unfortunate there, but into the next match against Eternity, and I'm actually kind of surprised because he is actually one of my friends, and he plays Golem, so kind of interesting to see him playing Mortar. I guess I will just fireball this again, and then go Archers. If I went Tesla there, it might have gotten really dicey because he went Valk to predict, but Archers down low did a pretty good job. And this looks like it's going to be 2.9 Motorcycle with the Valk in there instead of Knight. So I think it's actually going to be a pretty decent matchup. I'm going to defense Expo because he definitely wanted me to fireball those archers. I will fireball now because I have a mortar down as well to hit. But he's going to rocket me back. If I fireballed the archers at first, I was down too much elixir. I might have just lost straight up. So you do have to be careful, even though it is double elixir. Be wary of your cycle and your elixir, and make sure you're not overcommitting. Gonna Expo opposite because he did just use a Valk in the opposite lane. Gonna go for a fireball on the mortar. Also, okay, I tried to hit the Valk, sadly didn't work out, but still that's a lower HP tower, and Expo is on tower right now, so gonna actually try and keep this connection. Gonna go Ice Spirit, and he does go for a pretty nice log. Even if I did get the Ice Spirit down, log would have clipped it, so well played by him. But we're gonna go for an Expo again. And maybe I could have gone in the right as well with the archers, but I was hoping he would like predict the Expo in the right since I did have archers there, and then I would have switched it up by going in the left. A little bit of like deep plays like that, those can really change the game. But just gonna go for another fireball, cycle back to my log for this mortar, and this matchup is pretty good for Expo, I'd say, because you can just get fireball value on the mortars. Okay, he does get a pretty nice NATO off, but thankfully no mortar hit out of it. And now we're heading into triple. I think now it should be not that easy for us, though, because it is triple elixir. He does have a rocket in here, and a fast cycle. We're going to just fireball the Valk and then Knight. Okay, he goes for a mortar, so I'll Tesla off to the left so that I can maybe get an Expo with it later on. Going to log the archers too, and then going to go for another Expo. And the Expo on the... yeah, he does go for a Valk, so he's definitely going to have to go for a rocket. Actually, looks like he might not. Okay, he does, so unfortunately my Knight... okay, actually my Knight doesn't get clipped. That's actually pretty good. Gonna force a response out again. I was saying unfortunately because I thought it was gonna get clipped, but it didn't. Let's just keep up the pressure though. Archers again at the bridge. He's probably gonna go rocket again, since I did go for archers as well. Gonna Knight to kite this Valk out of Expo targeting, and then try and just defend against this mortar. Gonna go for an Expo in the left, and he does go for Valk in the right, so this actually should be pretty decent. Just gonna fireball tower, I guess, because he did just rocket. He has no way to punish my fireball, and he does have a defensive mortar alive. But I think I'll go for a Knight Expo. Okay, he actually rockets my tower, so definitely gonna have to make something happen here. And very unfortunate that the mortar shot splashes onto the Expo. Looks like he is trying to cycle back to maybe another rocket though. Just gonna go for a high Tesla. I think it'll hit the mortar. Yeah, because his mortar is very high. And he actually just rockets again, so definitely just going to Expo again as well. Kind of inward placement because I want the Tesla to support as well. It's actually getting a bit dicey now. We're going to fireball. We do need to get some damage on the tower. It is getting a bit sketchy because we're actually losing in terms of damage. Maybe I should have gone Knight instead of logging, like log first then Knight, because, or rather Knight first then log, because the mortar did lock on to my Expo, and if that didn't happen, we'd have been fine. But we definitely have to break through with this Expo, or else we might lose. So going to fireball the mortar, log as well, and can we get a connection out of this? He goes archers. I'll go archers at the bridge, and then, okay, Expo's on tower, going to fireball, and he's going to get a rocket down, but oh my god, we just barely came out with like 1 second before the rocket hit. Gonna give him the good game. Again, that is my friend. Really close match there. I think we had a pretty good lead, but there were some moments that got tricky. In triple, it can be hard. But yeah, that is actually going to be my friend, Eternity. Let me just check his profile to make sure. Yeah, he's a really good Golem player, as you can see. And pretty sure he is the person on my friends list. Yeah, I am actually friends with him. So we were able to win against him, but really nice win against Mortar for 24 wins. Alright, so we did come back from those 2 losses. Let's look for the next match, and we are 1 win away from 25 wins, which I would say would be a really good milestone for this video. Probably going to keep playing because the tournament is going to end pretty soon, but 25 wins would be a really nice goal, I would say, and that's probably going to be where I'm going to stop it at, so hopefully we can get a nice win, as we're not finding a match just as yet. Okay, we finally do against Joa Junior Fake, so we'll give him the good luck and go for a log, and he goes for a bowler. Okay, this is scary because it could be Giant Graveyard, but it could also be Lumberloon. So let's see what it is. Going to go for Xbow opposite. Goes for an eye drag, so I think it's going to be Lumberloon freeze. Yeah, there's the freeze, so this should be a really good matchup for me. Going to go Ice Spirit just to get a slightly longer Xbow connection. Then going to go Tesla in the left to pull a balloon possibly. Then also going to Fireball, because I don't really have anything in cycle for the eye drag, and he actually goes for an Ewis, so actually everything just changed. It's going to be Graveyard Freeze, not Lumberloon. Gonna Xbow again because he just wasted his bowler. Should be his main Xbow counter, and okay, he is gonna have a Golden Knight in here. That makes sense why he was so willing to cycle his bowler. Gonna go for a low Tesla, and both these Tesla should kill both the bowler and the eye drag. Kind of line them up pretty nicely to not both get hit by the bowler boulder, and just going to fireball the baby dragon. That's kind of just free damage for me, honestly. And then I'm actually just going to defensive Xbow because it is going to be Graveyard Freeze. We did already see the freeze, so he doesn't have a big spell in here. So goes for Golden Knight. Going to go Knight off to the far side so that he can't get any log or any Golden Knight dash value on me. Going to go Xbow with this defensive Xbow plus archers. Sadly, Ewis does actually take out my defensive Xbow, so maybe not the best Xbow, but he is going to be forced to freeze and then Ewis. So maybe if I had my Fireball, I actually would have won here. But actually, we still get a huge connection. Wow. And he's not going to have anything. He has to go for a pretty bad NATO. That's just 3 elixir. Kind of down the drain because my Xbow's still alive. And I can definitely just cycle back to yet another defensive Xbow. They are so good against Graveyard Freeze. You guys saw in the match like 2 or 3 games ago against the other Graveyard Freeze deck. They're really good. And I Fireballed there just to kind of keep my Tesla alive, so that it would help out. And okay, he freezes the Xbow, so definitely not the right play. I'm actually not sure if freeze can even hit the defense Xbow plus tower. Maybe it is like Fireball and anti-freeze placement. I'm not sure about freeze spell radius, but that's going to be GG. Looks like he gave up, and that is going to be a wonderful win against Graveyard Freeze. A little bit harder than normal because he did have the Golden Knight in there. If he had the Valkyrie like usual, that should be a pretty free matchup, but Golden Knight did make it a little bit tricky. We were still able to win though, and that's going to be 25 wins in the Sudden Death Tournament. Really happy with this. We were 20-0, so I would expect to get a pretty nice score because we have pretty much a perfect start. But yeah, had some really nice wins. Beat the Graveyard Freeze deck, which was again a little bit more tricky because Golden Knight, but we were still able to win. Won against my friend Eternity, who was playing Mortar Cycle, so that was interesting. Actually, very close and intense game. We had 2 unfortunate losses, but both of these were really hard matchups, I would say, especially with the arrows in there. We actually won against Logbait Cycle with Rocket too. And overall, yeah, I'd say pretty nice global tournament run so far. Going to try and go the distance for a top 1,000 finish, even though, again, the badge doesn't really mean anything to me because I already have 10 top 1K finishes on this account. I think I have like 16 or 17 at this point. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Hopefully we can continue the grind. So thank you so much for watching with 3.0 Xbow Cycle. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.